This is me practicing my PTLs. Okay, so for this one, I was thinking I'm going to focus on the adductors, engaging your adductor muscles. So a first laying posture would be in tabletops. So I think I would cue it like this. Let's come into a tabletop position on our hands and our knees. And from here, we take some cat-cows, and then after that, I would say tuck your toes just to create some more stability. And without moving your knees, try to squeeze your inner thighs together. And just seeing this very subtle movement, just our knees aren't really coming up or moving, they're kind of rolling inwards. But if we try to squeeze our legs together while also trying to keep our knees together, we can feel the inner legs activate or engage, and those are our adductor muscles. So I think the PTL phrase would be, without moving your knees or your hands, which I'll show you in the next pose, try to squeeze your legs together until you feel your inner legs activate. So the next layering pose would be, probably in Sun B, we would, actually no, maybe even in tabletop, in warm up, I would say extend one leg behind you, flex your foot, and practice bringing it inwards towards your center line. So we're moving just a subtle movement, maybe an inch or two, moving this floating leg towards our body. When flexing our foot, we can really feel our inner legs or adductors engaged. Opposite side, same thing. That's two. From Sun B, I would say we could do Warrior A to Warrior B, and I'd say the same thing. Without moving your legs, try to squeeze without moving your feet, try to squeeze your legs together until you feel your inner thighs engage. And also in Sun B, when we're in this pose, I'd say tuck your tailbone. This is another laying pose. So from chair, a slight variation, I'd say stand hip width apart, sit down like we would in chair, like you're sitting in a seat, just zip it in your core, tucking in your tailbone. These are just other cues I do. But as it relates to the adductors, make these, squeeze your legs together. These small little pulses, squeezing your inner thighs together. You can push into your heels while you're doing it, and you'll feel your adductors engage. That's three. Another one is Buddha squat or goddess pose. So from here, adductors, I would mention at one point in the class, adductors, they're named that because when we add our legs together, it's the muscles that we use to bring our legs together or add them together. So from this position, from Buddha squat, I would cue, make these small pulses inwards with your legs, pulsing your legs inwards, engaging your adductors. And then a peak pose or another layering pose really could be a spinal balance from tabletop. So on your hands and your knees, extend your right foot to begin. Behind you, flex your floating foot. Extend the opposite arm in front of you, your left arm. Look straight down to release your neck. And right here, stay here, trying to keep your leg internally rotated. And then make those pulses again. This time it's a balancing pose, so it's harder. That's why it'd be a peak pose. And we can even do an opposite action here. I've learned this is called awkward airplane. So you extend from spinal balance, extend your right leg to the right, your left arm to the left, and try to balance here. This would be a counter action using your abductors really. But as we always talk about, it's when you learn the opposites, it helps you tune into the muscle, the peak action or engagement. And then change sides. So now extend your left leg behind you, flex that foot, trying to keep your hips centered, not sagging too much to the right or the left. Now extend your right arm in front of you, look straight down, and keeping that back leg internally rotated, take those small pulses again, maybe with your floating legs. So just bringing that leg inwards, these micro movements, until you feel those inner muscles engage. And to see the opposite effect, extend your right arm to the right, your left leg to the left, balancing again. It's a little awkward. This is, you're using your abductors, your outer muscles, the muscles that separate your legs or abduct them. And then come back through center, keeping those hips through your midline centered, and then take those small pulses again, trying to pulse your floating leg inwards towards the midline of your body. So I kind of added more cues there, but definitely as it relates to the peak action being engaging the adductors, my phrase would be, without moving your feet, try to squeeze your legs together. Or if you're on your knees, without moving your knees, try to squeeze your legs together. And then like a secondary phrase would be, you know, make these small pulses with your legs inwards until you feel your inner muscles, inner thighs engage.